Y'all took the most unconventional, untraditional route to get to where I am. And it feels like crazy enough that I'm a failure, right? Like my view of life feels like I'm failing, but God's view is so beautiful, where it's just like, y'all, like, and I just see it, like I see it now, but I didn't see it for so long. Like, it's raining so loud, but I was sexually assaulted from the time I was 18 to about 23 years old. And it hurt my heart so much, so many years. It felt like I was nothing. And I got my bachelor's in psychology, but from the time I was 15 years old, I've been in the field of psychology. I've been working in the field of psychology for several years. I have over 10 years of experience, 12 years from 15. I was sitting in group therapy sessions helping teens at a teen counseling center at the age of 16 years old. That's extremely unheard of. I even did helping counseling sessions at 19 years old. I also was a research assistant at a anxiety disorder clinic at 19 years old. I ended up helping with coding emotions. I didn't even know that you could code emotions at that young or that age. I didn't even know that you could code emotions at all. And then I was able to transition to my master's degree. I lived in Louisiana at the time. I did not have the right credentials to get my master's degree in psychology, even though my bachelor's degree was psychology. During the time of COVID, they were waiving every other person's GRE except people who were trying to go to school for psychology. It felt like the world was so cold, so evil to people who wanted psychology. I was an extremely terrible test taker. Again, I had all this trauma, so at this time I did not have therapy. I was just suffering in silence, and yet God had his hands on me. So I got reached out by a school in Boston, and they're like, we're going to cover your scholarship. We're going to cover half of your tuition if you go to us for early childhood education. I said, Lord, I don't want to ever be a teacher. That's not me. That's not what I envisioned. And yet God was like, hold on, stay fast in it. Like, stay. So I stayed. I got my master's non-licensure, not credentialed at all, you guys, in the field of special education. I moved to Pennsylvania again because I went up here before, and at this time God then was like, I want you to be a trauma therapist. So I was an intensive trauma therapist. Anything that you saw Law and Order SVU, I did that. I was the therapist from age 24 to 26 years old. Very unconventional. No credentials, but I have credentials, but not the right ones in the world, you feel me? So then yet God did it again. So I'm helping families. I was giving them, our company was able to give them loads of money. I even helped a family with my company wrote a check of $6,000, and I was able to help a family restore furniture in their home. We actually went to the furniture store. I had this check and I told them, pick whatever you want. So I'm giving families loads and loads of money, $500, $800, all from my company. That was a blessing in disguise, and I didn't know. I was crying every day, but I loved what I did. It was like Maury meets Law and Order meets craziness. I dealt with so much trauma, plus my trauma at this time. So I'm still trying to get therapy. I had a therapist at this point in my life. I didn't at first. I had to at that point, you feel me? Then after that, I was able to... Hold on. After that, I was able to then... I left the job because they wanted me to be a supervisor. I said, Lord, okay, I'm 26 years old. I guess I could be the supervisor. They then decided that I can't be the supervisor because I wasn't at the company long enough, even though they wanted me as a supervisor. So I ended up leaving after I trained over 4 women really well. I was really good in the field, and yet they were like, you wasn't at the company for long. So I was like, Lord, what do you want me to do? Then boom, a contract company told me, they were like, hey, do you want to be a traveling teacher? I didn't even know a traveling teacher existed, y'all. I didn't know none of this because I did ABA when during my master's degree, I did ABA. So I was like, okay, Lord, I guess that this is for me. Like, I don't know. And I didn't even know what ABA, I I didn't even know what ABA was because it wasn't taught in the psychology department at my university, so I didn't even know what that was. So then ABA was a thing. While I was getting my master's degree, I was helping children with autism, and then I realized I love it. So then I was like, okay, well, let me be a behavior technician. I wasn't registered. I wasn't licensed. They wouldn't give it to me. Nor at that time, I was kind of disobedient. I was 21, 22 years old. I was just like, where am I going to ever use this again? So fine, whatever, you feel me? So then after that, fast forward with the master's degree, right? And now I'm the trauma therapist. Now this contract company, they're like, we want you to be the traveling special education teacher. So I'm now currently traveling 5 towns, 20 schools. I've been working with over 60 students for now a year and 7 months. Now I'm talking to schools. I go to schools, daycares, private schools. I go to Montessori. I go to Jewish synagogues. I go everywhere you think that is a school. I go to, even churches, baby. I go there. Now, yeah, I said, Lord, is this the time to get my PhD? I was talking myself out of it because I want a boyfriend, y'all, so bad. I want a relationship. I want marriage, and I want kids so bad. And yet God was telling my family this is the time. So my sister found a university that is fully funded on TikTok, funny enough. Then she said, I want you to apply here. I said, no, I want a relationship. I ended up calling in the university. They said, we're fully funded. We'll give you the money. Just apply. And then all you need is 3 recommendations, a personal statement. Y'all, they're waiving the GRE for psychology. Yet at 22 years old, I couldn't get into the program because I was a terrible test taker. I couldn't handle the pressure. And yet this program, funny enough, because it's clinical psychology for your PhD, you're en route to get a master's in psychology. So God is so funny, where I felt like I was nothing at the bottom of the pit of my stomach. And God literally just turned it all around for me. He literally just laid out the plan for me to help others, to tell them, like, my route was so unconventional. I felt so alone. I was abused several times. I was scammed out of money several times. Now I'm making 2 times more, double the money that I ever made in my life. I'm currently 27. I'm about to be 28. Like, I don't know, like, this has been my dream since I was 15 years old, to help children and teenagers. I had a plan of what I wanted my counseling center to look like, to help underprivileged families and representation. I had a whole layout. I have the whole plan. I just need to get it together. I'll be 32 years old when I finish this program. My goodness, I feel so old, y'all. But I'm just so grateful for God's grace, for turning it all around. Like,